I don't know if everybody's familiar with the randomizer, but you want to kind of go over what's randomized and what's not randomized there.
Sure. I guess the way to think about it is it's an enemy weakness, item location, boss location randomizer, but it also does cosmetic stuff. The soundtrack here has been randomized. It's almost easier to talk about the things that aren't randomized, such as the damage Mega Man takes from rabbits. The Wily bosses are in their usual places. I don't know. What do you think, Squid? What did I miss?
Stage layouts are not randomized, with the exception of Airman Stage, in which the moving platforms have actually been replaced with solid, ground. So that there is no weird glitchy interactions between moving platforms and possible enemies that can spawn.
Yeah, that's right.
Prodigy having a little bit of trouble early on here. So he picked Quick Stage first, which is traditionally one of the first stages you want to go to because there's an easy E-Tank, and you really can't do the zips in this stage because it kind of requires a good item 1 and possibly a Flash Stopper. Well, it actually requires Flash Stopper. So usually this is the first stage you kind of go to, but he ran into a lot of these little, tin can guys, and they're giving him a hard time. He lost a lot of health.
Yeah, and he's lately been promoting air first, and so it's interesting to see him not go to air first.
Yeah, I'm a little curious as to why he's decided air first is the strat now, but yeah.
I think I'm partly to blame because I was saying I like to go to air late.
So you goaded him into it, all right.
Yeah.
Well, StuffnThings gets done his first stage.
Yeah, he picks up Joka Eye for his troubles.
And no item.
Though. Yeah.
Always got to keep out on a lookout for those items because they are massively important in the randomizer, and you don't know where you're going to get them from.
Oh, no item for Prodigy as well.
Stuff's gonna come and run into these I want to say tellies, but tin cans in a little bit. I'm wondering if he's gonna switch to the item he just got from beating Flash Stage to try to deal with them because they were really tough.
That's right. Yeah, one of the really important things in the randomizer is adaptation.
He discovers that he got Flash Stopper from his first boss, which does not really help a lot in this situation.
And if you were having trouble decoding the menu, it's because, yes, it's randomized as well.
Oh my gosh, Stuff realizing that these tin cans are taking at least 6 hits. And he might take an E-Tank here.
Yep. I think he's going to farm some health, then he gets it.
Well, Prodigy making his way through Flash Stage, another really simple stage to go through.
And just like that, Stuff is full health again.
That is actually pretty fortunate.
Yeah. It is always kind of a time loss to pick up health because the game freezes when you grab health. So you do kind of want to avoid taking damage if you can. But on normal, which corresponds to easy, the drop rate is pretty good for health.
That's true. The drop rates for weapon energy and health is greatly increased in easy.
You might notice Crashman's AI has been modified significantly to where he's kind of what we call dumb Crash, where he kind of forgets to fire at Mega Man.
And also likes to walk through the floor.
Like you do.
Alright, Prodigy going... Sorry about that. Prodigy going bubble third here. Don't think he picked up any items from any of those stages, so nope. He's going to be doing bubble without any items, but we will be demonstrating the Buster only zip to get past the first part of the underwater section.
Yeah, that's right. In this game, if you pause by bringing up the menu, it resets Mega Man's velocity, horizontal and vertical, so you can repeatedly pause while holding a direction in the air and traverse a horizontal distance you normally couldn't. And that allows Mega Man to start inside the wall on the next screen.
Yeah, essentially float over to this area where he can start in the ceiling, which is basically the position you need for initiating that zip. And yeah, well done.
The Shrimp are Buster vulnerable, but it takes a lot of shots.
StuffnThings also choosing Bubble third, and going to be doing the exact same zip right here. He's just a little bit behind Prodigy. I think Stuff had a little bit more of a hard time with those tin cans in the quick stage, so it took him quite a while to get through that section. Prodigy was fortunate, got that health drop on the way to the quick beam.
Yeah.
It looks like StuffnThings unfortunately missed that, getting into the ceiling, so he's having to do the, what I like to call now the walk of shame.
Yeah.
You have to walk through this water, and the unfortunate part about walking through the water is that Mega Man runs through the water at about 3/4 of his normal walking speed, and so there's just lots of lag, and it's slow.
Yep. Prodigy... If you were watching, Prodigy actually manipulated Metal Man into not firing very often.
Right. Metal Man in that stage, it takes him a little while to get back down to the ground, and you can actually fire again and have him jump. Prodigy also picked up item 2, so I think he's going to air feeling confident that he can get through this pretty easily. I always recommend going to air stage in the randomizer with at least an item 1 or item 2, because if you run into the wrong enemy in air stage, you're going to have a bad time without a platform.
And one of the wrong enemies you can run into are Metroids behind the clouds, and that's what he's run into.
Or fat fans, or crabs. All of the above are just the worst.
Shrimp, birds.
Yes, all of those are terrible enemies to encounter in air stage. Air stage is just fraught with pits.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it looks like Prodigy may have reset his timer on accident.
Yeah, it does look like that. StuffnThings opting to go to wood fourth. I believe this is because he's not really going to be attempting good wood. I expect Prodigy to do it.
Oh.
And Prodigy takes a death. I told you, it's wrought with pits. Just fraught with pits. Never take air stage casually. It is a nightmare of a stage.
That's right. Yeah, and these Joes are pretty nice because they're Buster weak. Unlike if you watched the race last night, they were not Buster weak, and it was Buster only.
Oh yeah, Joes that take a lot of Buster shots, unless you find a nice good weapon that can kill them, are pretty terrible, because they can actually end up doing a lot of damage to you as well. I think they do as much as the tin cans when they hit you, right?
Yeah, I think probably. There's a few enemies that you kind of learn as you play this that you really don't want to touch those enemies. And then there's other things like the little tiny frogs. They do 1 damage. You never worry about them.
I like chat fraught. Good word. That's great.
Yeah, Bubble Man's easy. He's Buster weak. I think there's 4 Robomasters in each seed that are Buster weak.
Yes, that is correct. So 4 Robomasters will take 4 damage, and 4 will take 2 damage. If you play on normal, which corresponds to difficult, you'll have 4 that take 1 damage and 4 that take 2 damage.
Yeah. And
yes, as I expected, StuffnThings is taking the not doing the good wood zip. He is going the full length of the wood stage.
This treehouse is dangerous, though.
Yeah, the downside of this is that depending on the enemies in here, it can be extremely laggy, extremely slow, and extremely dangerous. Prodigy opting to go to metal. He's got item 2. He does, and I don't think he's got. He does not have an item 1. So, I'm a little surprised, just because I would prefer to have item 1 going into this as well. But you can't really predict if item 1 is going to be a good item 1 or a bad item 1. So this is maybe a good decision.
Right, and I guess this is kind of the safest stage to go to with what he has left.
True. He's looking for item 1 or item 3 in order to do good wood, so...
Yeah, and Crash, I'm sure he's hoping to get the Crash Sip as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, metal actually is probably the best option, now that I think about it.
Yeah, it's always interesting to figure out what different runners' preferences are in situations like this.
I've actually been opting to go to Heat Stage if I get item 3 without an item 2, just because I think the Yokus are pretty fast compared to item 2. You really don't need to You really don't need item 2. Prodigy trying to use Metal Blade on Flash, but he was immune to it. The reason for that is because you can actually Flash's AI acts in such a way that when you fire, he'll jump. And so if he's above you and you're firing at him, he will jump above you and kind of just float in the air above you. So he was trying to exploit that in the AI. So yeah, Prodigy did get a hold of an item 1. He's going to Wood Stage. I think that's his best option right now. We'll see if this item 1 is actually good for zipping. It's very possible it's stationary and he will have no option but to actually go through the stage, much like StuffnThings.
He actually knows a stationary item 1 zip in this stage. So
he does.
It's possible we'll still see Goodwood.
I do not know this zip. This will be interesting if he attempts.
This is a really nice atomic fire in this seed. Instead of having to charge it, it's just instantly full charge. And usually when that happens, it's pretty powerful as well. And it's got a big hitbox, and so it can be a really nice way to clear the screen. It looks like he's going to check.
No, I think is he? Oh, he is doing it. Oh, he did a second screen zip. I haven't seen that.
I haven't either. That makes sense. If we're going to be checking for Fat Fiends on that screen, it makes sense to do the zip from that screen.
Yeah, if the Fat Fiends are there on that screen, then there's a possibility that you will soft lock. If you don't have Flash Stopper, you can't really kill them, and you can't get out of the zip, and so you're just stuck.
Right. Meanwhile, Stuff finishes up his fight, no problem whatsoever.
And Prodigy executes the Goodwood.
Yep. And Stuff is going to discover that there's still no item in Metal. Or did Metal have an item?
Metal did have the item 1.
Okay.
So, yes, he will discover there is an item.
He will finally get his second item.
So Prodigy beating his 6th Robot Master here, while StuffnThings is just kind of going through the beginning of his 6th stage.
Oh, interesting. So he decides to go to Crash. It's interesting because he doesn't have item 3 yet, and item 3 is useful in this stage for the climb in the second half.
I think he's thinking that item 3 is more useful in Heat Stage because his item 1 is not going to be able to get him a zip in Heat Stage. If you have a really good item 1, like one that moves up very fast, you'll be able to do the Heat Zip with the item 1 instead of traditionally as it's done with the item 3. And Prodigy having a little bit of trouble getting in position for this zip, while StuffnThings is just flying across the screen.
Yeah, this is a tricky zip since he's not killing the enemies.
Oh, and he takes a death from the Joe Mech. Oh my gosh.
Does he have enough lives left to do the zip?
He does not.
He doesn't.
He is going to have to go through Crash Stage all vanilla-like.
Oh, this will be interesting. If Stuff gets this zip, it'll be a big boon.
Absolutely. This is still a race.
Oh, for sure.
Now, I believe we saw the gear guys on the first screen, so it that is an indicator of what is going to be on this crash climb.
The gears of lag. Oh, he placed it the wrong height.
Oh, and he's gonna have to wait for this platform because I don't think the item 1 is gonna have enough vertical distance to get him there, and he does. All right, Stuff's entering Crash. So they have the same idea, and I think Stuff is going to be killing these enemies.
Yeah.
And he is.
So I don't think he'll have any problem with this zip. And he gets it.
Yeah, executes it very well. Prodigy, we're going to have to keep an eye out here because Prodigy's got 0 lives, and I don't think he's going to be stopping for lives along the way. So that means that if he takes a death anywhere in these castles, he is going to game over.
Right. He could still get lucky, though, and just find a life randomly on the ground. From, like, an enemy, I mean.
True, true.
But yeah, you see stuff catching up quite a bit here. He has more item 1 to make the climb faster.
Yep. Stuff kind of cruising along here.
Oh, he tries the same exact strategy. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, Prodigy used Crash Bomb to get past these. StuffnThings uses Leaf Shield, and Leaf Shield is apparently super effective. And yes, Prodigy actually went for the extra life instead of... I actually thought he was going to skip this, but he is playing it safe and going for the extra life.
I think that's pretty smart in this situation.
I totally agree with you. There was also an extra life in the beginning of Wily 1. I might actually have skipped this, played it risky, skipped it, and gone for the extra life in Wily 1.
Or gone for the extra life in Heat, because he has item 2, he can place it low.
True. That one, sometimes that one I just miss because I don't place my item 2 low enough. So if you're really good at placing your item 2s, then yeah. And we have them both in the same fight at the same time. This is great.
They're right on top of each other.
And they're searching for weaknesses, it looks like. Which is smart because Heat is only taking 2 damage from Buster, and it's really painful.
Stuff found it so much faster too.
Yeah,
so he's
he definitely
gaining even more time.
Yeah, Stuff is right on his heels. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, very clean execution.
I believe this is Blizzard Buffalo music. I really love the X renditions in the Mega Man 2 Randomizer.
Oh, he's going for this screen one.
Oh, Prodigy is trying it.
He's got it. No.
Oh, no. The item 1 does not have enough, and StuffnThings is definitely not going to go for the zip. He is going to keep going. He does not try the exclusive item 1 zip here. And Prodigy having to E-tank and decided, to give up on that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's the right decision.
Quite honestly, this screen could be worse.
Oh
no! He tiptoed right off the edge.
Yeah. Wow, that cost him the lead right there.
Super unfortunate. He was on the edge and just looks like he kind of rushed it.
Meanwhile, Prodigy missing that jump. So he still doesn't have item 3, so he's going to attempt the zip here with item 1, but he only gets like 1 shot at it.
Yeah, this is interesting because I don't think I would attempt it with this item 1. I would just pass it on up, especially after failing the exclusive item 1 zip at the beginning of the stage. But he's definitely tried. He's going all out here.
Yeah.
All right.
Stuff is also going to give it a go.
I don't know. I don't think he is.
Oh, you're right.
I think he recognizes the item 1. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I was gonna say I think he recognizes the item 1 is just not working out for our runners this seed.
See, Prodigy gets the extra life here. I suspect he will.
I think that's too high. I think that skips over the extra life.
I think that's good.
Oh, he did get it. Okay.
Field goal. Oh, 2 health. Come on, Stuff. What are you doing? You've got E-tanks to burn.
And as you say it, StuffnThings is you got some psychic communication going on here.
Yeah, that's right.
StuffnThings not placing his item too low.
Yeah, I think his life count is good, so he says, you know what, it's easier to just place it high.
Wow, this seed so back and forth.
Well, oh, I guess the tracker was, or sorry, it hasn't updated yet. Okay, right. So he's the first one out of 8 robos. Yeah, it's a good time. What color do you think the dragon is, Stuff? I mean, Squid.
Well, if you're asking Stuff, dragon color always hot pink.
Yeah.
Barbie
Dragon is pretty great.
And we have Galaxy Man music in Wily 1 and 2, which is just fantastic.
It really is. I will go with the monochrome dragon then. If you're gonna go with hot pink. Any guess on the weaknesses? We'll see.
You know what? I really want to be evil today, so I'm gonna say bubble and leaf shield. Yeah.
I'm gonna say crash. I want to see that crash bomb quick kill. Prodigy did a good job of manipulating that little Roomba. When you are on the same level as it, it moves quickly, and when you're not, it moves slowly. So he hopped all the way down that corridor to stay just ahead of it.
Prodigy actually opted to use item 2 across this last screen with the frogs. StuffnThings did not. So Prodigy is going to have to fill his item 2 to get across the spike pit in Wily 2. So we will see Prodigy refilling, probably taking both refills to get past.
Stuffin's also doing that good Roomba manipulation.
Ooh, you were close.
Wow. Buster
and
Week.
It's Buster Week. I guess we were wrong.
Buster Week, and he started on the top block. That's pretty much the fastest that fight can go.
Yeah. Top block is great because when you teleport out, Mega Man is closer to the top, and since he's teleporting up, you get out of the stage faster. So you're saving something like 40 frames, I think, at that point, from being on the bottom block.
Oh, probably.
All right, as I predicted, Prodigy taking both refills for his item 2, making it across the spike pit. No problem. Stuff about to discover his Buster Week friend here.
Will Prodigy check the weakness? Nope. He says, I don't care about that E-Tank.
Prodigy usually checks the weakness while he's in the Pico fight. So the Pico fight has those crash barriers too, and the weakness for those crash barriers is randomized. And so some runners will check the weakness out either in the Robot Master stages or right there in Wily 2 because it's a pretty easy check. Others will wait until the Pico fight. So since we don't know the weakness...
Do you mean the Boo Beam fight? You mean
Sorry,
the Wily 4 fight?
I meant the Boo Beam fight.
Oh, okay, cool.
I did mean the Boo Beam fight. Sorry, I said Pico. I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't listen to me.
I was waiting for some exciting new tech there. I was like, how do you check it during the Pico fight?
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Pico is made of crash barrier. All right, we're gonna be
Not
weakness
Buster.
hunting.
Not Leaf.
Not Leaf Shield.
Not
And
Quick.
not Boomerang.
It's air.
All
That's
right.
pretty good weakness.
Yeah, it's a decent weakness. Oh, Prodigy is in a little bit of trouble. If he gets hit one more time, he's dead. And you do not want to start this over from the halfway point. I think. I can't tell if he's got 10 or 8 hit points there, but
Yeah, I think he would die in a hit.
I think he would.
I think Stuff found the barrier as Crash. I think that's what I saw.
Oh, good. I was paying attention to the Prodigy's Pico fight. I think Jenny's got the right idea. We should get some popcorn.
That sounds delicious.
Stuff is just right behind him, and I think, yeah, this is still a pretty close race. Anything could happen if Prodigy takes one death. That puts StuffnThings and Prodigy right together.
It's not Buster. It's not Quick. It's not Bubble. But it's air.
And Stuff also discovers air.
Wow, that jump Prodigy did was amazing.
I have tried to do that jump and failed into the spikes, so that was pretty tight.
Yeah, that's not a jump you want to leave short. Go far if you're gonna screw that one up.
Is this Silas music?
I believe so. Perhaps somebody in chat can correct us if we're wrong.
Where is Creed when we need him?
He's probably practicing. He's gotten really fast.
Yeah, that is for sure.
Oh, very purple and teal dozer today. Oh, no easy weakness here. And oh, it's heat. Actually, that is easy.
Charged heat. Has Stuff discovered that the heat is fully charged?
I don't think so.
I don't think he's...
Unless he used it in wood, but I think that was Prodigy. So a lot of the times our runners won't try heat until, you know, they need to kill a boss with it or something like that. But it can actually be a smart idea to just try it in a stage to find out if it's supercharged or not.
Yeah, usually what I do is if I have heat when I go into wood stage, I will try it on the hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And if it works, that's pretty much how I find it. All right, so Prodigy setting up for this nice little spike skip here, little zip.
Yeah, being very careful with his foot placement on that screen. Getting the hallway zip here.
StuffnThings discovering that Crash is works on Guts tank, so don't think he still knows whether or not the heat is supercharged. And we have shrimp inside these horrible spike rooms, which is a kind of could be good, could be bad, depending on whether or not you can damage boost off of these guys and make your way across.
Stuff knowing that he has to recharge his crash bombs in order to get through the stage.
Right. Actually, kind of interesting that Prodigy did not use the crash bombs because he might have been in trouble.
Right.
I think Prodigy's going to try the zip here using item 3.
I don't know if he has enough left. He's going to try it again.
He does.
Nope.
All right. Well, it was worth a try.
I guess Stuff doesn't do the vertical zip here.
No, he does not. There's a few zips that Stuff does not incorporate into his runs as of...
So, for those of you who don't know, Stuff is mostly a zipless speedrunner. So he has learned some zips for the randomizer, but his favorite way to speedrun the game is zipless.
So Prodigy is going to be testing the walls out here. And he does find Crash almost immediately. Wow, that's pretty beneficial for...
Yeah. Some good placement there. It saves time to destroy the 2 walls at once. Ammo's not really a concern in the randomizer for the crash barriers like it is in vanilla, but the time saved from not waiting for crash bomb is huge.
Our favorite boobian weakness. It's Bubble. Bubble is a weapon that has some weird physics in the randomizer and can just be frustrating to use.
Yeah, we actually just saw a bit of it there. It was following the ceiling instead of going to that one turret.
StuffnThings just coming to the boobian fight, so he's still on the heels of Prodigy.
Yeah, we'll see how these refights go. I don't remember how many of the weaknesses he discovered.
They both discovered Leaf Shield worked all right on heat.
Oh, it's true.
And StuffnThings doing the same item hunt finds Bubble much quicker, I think. So yeah, we've still got a race here. If Prodigy does not take an E-Tank, we still have a race here.
Yeah, if Prodigy makes any mistakes, he's in trouble.
I didn't catch how many E-Tanks he has left. I think 2. So I think he'll be fine, but, you know... Curse!
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen. Sometimes a player just thinks they have more time than they do, they have something on the screen and they can't menu, you know, something like that.
That is actually one thing that really gets some runners, is that if you've got a weapon on the screen, you can't menu. And so people desperately trying to take an E-Tank while their Buster Shot is still on screen makes for quite a surprise when you end up dying.
Yeah.
Prodigy having a little bit of trouble dancing with metal, but I think he gets it now.
Yep.
They synced up. Prodigy actually taking all of the health refills. I think he's got 2 E-tanks, so this is actually a slower thing to do.
Yeah, he does have 2.
Yeah, I would opt to not take the refills. He's taken 3 or 4 so far. Opt to not take the refills and take the E-tank. Taking the E-tank is actually faster than going for the weapon or the energy drops after the bosses died.
Yep. You do have to menu, but yep, it's faster.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. He went for it very intentionally there.
Yes, yes. And I think this is his last Robot Master, so Stuff is about 4 Robot Masters behind. And we will get to see whether the machine is bust or weak.
Oh, Stuff missing a cycle on quick there. Just a few pixels too high. I think Stuff's gonna have to E-tank. I don't think he can finish this fight, but he's got 4.
And the machine is indeed bust or weak.
So when is it not? I think it wasn't in either of our races.
It was not in either of our races. We had 2 races, and it was not Buster Week in either one, which surprised me, actually.
Yeah, and I remember using strats at the time that were kind of risky in the sense that if it's not Buster Week, you could be in trouble. And sweating a little bit.
So I think Prodigy is obviously not going to opt for the item 1. He has not had success zipping with the item 1 so far, except in Crash Stage. So I think he's just gonna make his way to the alien and finish this off.
I think he might even be out of item 1. I'm not sure.
I actually think he might be as well. But the randomizer places 2 refills in the at the beginning of Wily 6, so he had the option to fill, but I think it was definitely not advised. Stuff's gonna E-tank, not take any chances here.
Yeah, he's got plenty of E-tanks. Just play it safe.
Oh, and it's Metal Blade. I love Metal Blade for the alien. All right. Prodigy starting his timer on the alien kill. Prodigy finishing up here the race here with an SRL time of 32:35. Very respectable time.
Yeah, very respectable.
And Stuff is making his way to the alien right now.
Stick around, folks. We will have at least one more round to this match, possibly 2, because it's best of 3.
Stuff doing the same item hunt, not doing the page 2 Squid patented page 2 gambit.
Try the other page. There you go. Yeah, you found it.
And he is now discovered that indeed Metal Blade kills our alien.
GG, Stuff.
Nice. And Stuff finishing the race with an SRL time of 33:43, just about a minute behind Prodigy. So this was actually a pretty tight race. There was a few unfortunate deaths that kind of broke it off there. Prodigy taking the lead and sticking with it. So, yeah, well, I'm really excited to see what's going to happen second race.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see more zips because this seed was basically an item lock. But will we see that twice in a row? Probably not.
No, we'll see stationary item 1 next time.
Actually, that's very likely. Items 2 and 3, items 2 and 3 don't get randomized, but item 1 does get randomized.
Yes, items 2 and 3's behaviors do not get randomized. But item 1's can be stationary or can move fast. The time that it stays on screen can be long, can be short. So, yeah, item 1 is variable.
Alright, it looks like our runners are going to be ready to go shortly here. But we do have to give them a seed, don't we?
Yes, we will need to roll them another seed so they can get prepared.
Okay, you're gonna be gatekeeper. Cool.
Yes.
All right, so our runners have their seed now. It should be just a minute here, and we'll see them get set up.
Get your popcorn, folks.
Yeah, I think we'll see some interesting stuff in round 2. You know, we won't have a Buster Week Dragon, probably not anyway. Maybe the machine won't be Buster Week this time.
One can only hope. Have Kame make the seed, and everything will. Well, nothing will be Buster Week.
Yeah, that would actually. Did you see? Did you watch the Kame versus Creed match?
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch that match. In fact, I don't
that's
even know who won.
That's a match I recommend people go look up because that one was pretty exciting. But they chose to race Buster only for the whole thing, and with the seeds they got, Buster only was not the way to play them.
Jeez.
Z4, P7, yeah, there will be at least one more race because this is best of 3.
All right, it looks like Prodigy is all set up with our new seed, DKK-HW. StuffnThings also set up with our race seed for race 2. And both runners are ready, so we are gonna get this going ASAP.
Alright, looks like they'll be starting any second here. So
Yep.
other things you might notice that get randomized is the intro text for the game. The story gets randomized, the little details like, you know, for use in what country. And we can often use those to make sure that our players both have the same randomization ahead of time.
In addition to the flags that you see on the bottom of the screen, the flags tell you what options are chosen for the randomizer, and so sometimes I think we've caught at least one of the racers accidentally setting an improper flag, having to restart the race. So it's another good indicator. We can just scan the bottom.
Yep.
All right, our racers are